lost objective Fox. Objective Charlie has been lost.
What's up guys, TC here, long time no see. Now, having played a couple of days of BF5's beta, I thought I'd throw my 2 cents into the ring. The context for gameplay you're seeing is mainly from ground operations on Narvik, with some clips from Rotterdam thrown in for good measure. Now, when you scroll through Twitter, it's undeniable that this beta has torn people. The introduction of attrition, removal of random bullet deviation, the different tempo of gameplay has really irked some people. BF1 brought some 24 million people to the franchise. It was incredibly popular with what I consider its accessible and casual gameplay. Now, as you know, I put about 800 hours into BF4, playing every night for a good couple of hours each time with a great platoon of guys. BF1 maybe got about 40 hours of my time and disenfranchised the squad I played with. For me, it wasn't satisfying. It was a point and shoot kind of game with an emphasis on KD and a terrible culture of not PTFOing. With all that had gone before it and the negative press surrounding the game, I went into this beta expecting to hate it. The narrative from game changers from the alpha and the Gamescom build was lukewarm to say the least. I downloaded it out of my love for what BF used to be. It was a hope that it wasn't as bad as it was being portrayed to be. DICE had a lot to prove considering the PR and marketing disaster that was the reveal and subsequent director actions that followed. I'm relieved to say, for me personally, BF5 is a step in the right direction. I find it hugely satisfying and a rewarding game to play. Attrition for me is a good thing. You have to play smarter, taking each encounter as it comes. Now don't get me wrong, you can still run and gun, and with the looting of ammo mechanic making this easier, but I feel I am far more calculated in my approach to this game. When you clear that flag of enemies and capture it, the fact you and your squad did this garners a huge sense of achievement. I feel like I skirmish now, with one objective in mind prior to resupplying and setting my sights onto the next one. The gameplay itself is great. The fact I have a learnable spread pattern on my guns raises that skill ceiling and removes that element of luck which existed in BF1. For me, this was a must. How can you add something a player can't control and expect experienced veterans to have any sort of pleasure from the game? I'm looking forward to seeing what the full game brings in terms of weaponry, as long as they manage to tame the grenade and shotgun spam which has plagued the series for all too long. The maps themselves available in the beta aren't mind-blowing, and for me they're on the small side for conquest maps. However, I am aware that they're infantry focused and as such shouldn't be too large. I'm sure during the life cycle of the game we are expected to see vast maps focused on vehicle combat. I'm thinking along the lines of North Africa and the Battle of the Bulge here. For many of the long-term subs, you know that my favourite game mode is Rush, and from the available modes it looks like this has been omitted. However, I feel Airborne can replace this. It's a classic attack versus defence game mode and one that fits the principles of Rush. Given the World War II setting, I'm excited for what the future maps could be. In my head, I'm thinking gun placements just off the Normandy beaches, Saving Private Ryan, Band of Brothers-esque. These types of engagements excite me massively and could get over the hurt of having Rush omitted from this game. Yes, this is a beta, and as you all know, it hasn't all been positive. There are a number of groundbreaking bugs existing within the game in its current state. Specifically the audio bug. In my eyes, audio is just as important as the visuals, so I hope they can resolve this by launch. For me, even with the pushback in the release date, I feel this game is a little rushed. I know the commercial pressures in releasing this before Christmas, but for a player base and the end users, a delay of a couple more months would not only ensure that there is a smooth playable game at release, but one with a little bit more content as well. Overall, like I've said, the beta has completely exceeded my expectations. There's a long way to go, but there's the foundations of a great game. I'm just wishing now they'd hurry up with the Operation Overlord expansion, and I'd be a happy bunny. Anyway, I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. Are you going to get the game? Are you sat on the fence? Are you completely put off? Until next time, TC.